Hi guys. I do taxes year round, and in the off season, I get a lot of different requests. Like for example, I got a letter or email from a lady that she got a letter from the state of Virginia. She doesn't live there. She lives in South Carolina, but she used to live in Virginia. So she filed one of those forms where you can get, like, if you got money sitting places and you can get it back, like found money or lost money. And she got like $356. She found that she left in a bank account or whatever in Virginia. But instead of giving her the money, what Virginia did was they found a tax return she had not filed from 1996. 30 years ago, okay? And they said, oh, because you haven't filed this tax return from 30 years ago, we're not going to give you this money that's rightfully yours because you owe us because you didn't file. So they gave her a proposed amount of $1,056 and then kept her money, but applied it to the 1,056 and then told her, now you owe us the balance. So I wrote the state of Virginia Department of Revenue a letter and said, hey, my client wants the money back immediately unless you can show her, give her all the documentation that shows she didn't file, and give me all the documentation give her all the documentation that you have that justifies your claim. If you can't do that, then give her back her money immediately and stop sending her bills from 30 years ago. So that was weird. And then so I'm writing the letter up and I take it to the post office to mail it off to the Department of Revenue in Virginia. And I get this call, and the caller ID says some kind of Jewish organization, right? And I didn't know what it was. I answered it because it seemed like a justified call. There's an older lady on there, and she has a thick accent. I don't know if she had a Jewish accent or not, but she had a thick accent. Could have been. Who knows? I don't hang out with Jewish people that much. But anyways, during the call, she's asking me if I do accounting. I'm like, yeah. Do I do taxes? I'm like, yeah. And then she says, now, we're a Jewish organization. Does that bother you? And I had to think about it for a minute. And then, well, a second. And then I realized, well, her question was, do you do taxes for Jewish people? And I said, I don't know, but I wouldn't have a problem with it. Asking somebody's religion isn't a question that I ask when they're sending me their tax data. Their religion has nothing to do with it. They may have, charitable contributions specific to a certain religion, like an earlier post that I made about a different religion. Everybody that's religious that goes to any kind of church usually has tithing. I don't know what Jewish people do, but it doesn't matter. If they just tell me it's for a religious organization, then I can put it in an appropriate place. Or if there's some kind of, pastor or rabbi, then they would get a certain, discount on their taxes because that's just written into the tax code. But pretty interesting day. So I had to deal with, somebody from South Carolina that had to deal with Virginia from 30 years ago, and then somebody asking me if their religion has anything to do with whether or not I'll do their taxes. It doesn't. And the 30-year thing is crazy. I looked that up, and they actually have a statute in Virginia, state law, that says they can go back as far as they want. Wow, talk about somebody holding a grudge. But anyways, yeah. Let me know if you got any questions about anything like that, or if you get a weird letter and you want to know how to fight it or figure it out. 503-705-1521, or email me at maxinman@gmail.com. Oh, like and subscribe to this video.